Alright, this is going to be a doozy. How to build mental fortitude. This one I got to be a little more upward with. Suck at the kitten. But, yeah, so the first step to building mental fortitude is to stop caring about what people think about you. That is literally the biggest thing, is to stop caring about what other people think about you. And that actually is not as hard as what you would think it is. Um, so, in doing that, I can also talk about a lot about how to stop caring about what other people think. But basically, the biggest thing is to become confident in your own knowing and to follow your own intuition and become connected with your heart in order to be able to know um, that what you're thinking is actually good, and that you don't need to have validation externally from you in order to be able to feel like what you're saying or doing is right. That is a really big thing, because people can sometimes destroy the life path that somebody was supposed to go on because they believed that what somebody else had to say. Like, they believed that when somebody told them, say, um, like, you have to get a job in order to be able to live, and you're gonna end up homeless, you're gonna end up like on the streets and blah 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 blah. Like, if you believe that, thinking that the world is out to get you and the only way to survive is to grind your way into survival, then you are going to be stuck in that for your entire life, and that will break down your mental fortitude instead of building it. So the second step is to become aware of your own emotions and feelings. So what this means is actually twofold, because in order to be able to become aware of your own emotions, then you have to become aware of what's coming from external sources and what's coming from your own self. So if you now, also, these two things are intertwined. So there's really no difference between what's coming from external and what's coming from internal, but like, depending on what you tap into. So that's where your thought streams will come from, is where you're tapped into. So, like, say that you are say that you have a lot of negative thoughts coming to you, then you're tapped into that negative thought pattern, like a stream, which is kind of like a tube that comes in and then just like delivers you negativity. And the more that you pay that attention, the more that you open that stream or channel. So basically, like, imagine like you have a network, right? And then, like, your brain is connected to all these different wires that go off, and they're all different feelings, and they're all different thought patterns. And basically, they're like rubber hoses that they start out really really small, and then the more that you send water down them, or that's your attention, the water, the more that they expand and they grow, and they start to take more of that, like, reservoir that you have, and they take more of that initial substance and drain it off into things that may or may not be good for you. So positive thought patterns will drain off into things like a wellspring of beautiful, like, abundant giving water and life force energy, and the negative stream will lead to paranoia, delusion, and basically fear. And they all end up in the well of the ocean. But in this physical incarnation, we're connected to the ocean if we want to be, but most humans have this feeling of disconnection, or basically that everything external from their self is not their self. So they basically have this fundamental notion that there's self and that there is other, when in fact there's only self. Okay, so step 3 is becoming aware of others' emotions and feelings. So in order to do this, you have to become very conscious of what you want to feel, and then you have to strive for that. So basically, every time that you feel anything other than what you want to feel, you notice that feeling, you notice the thought pattern that is associated with that feeling, and then you replace that with affirmations or like positive things. Uh, and to become aware of other people's feelings, what you do is while you're around other people, you start to feel certain things, right? Like some people will give you certain thought patterns of like of beauty and amazement and everything like that, and some people will make you start thinking of like negativity and bad things. And basically, uh, in order to become aware of other people's feelings and emotions, you literally have to be able to, without judgment, just tap into their state of being and then really like look at them and then like try to understand their suffering and like try to understand the cues that show what those are. And by doing this, you can start to really get a grasp on what other people's emotions and feelings are sending to you, because you, without knowing it, you are connected to everything that's around you. So any other thought patterns or feelings or like emotional charges that are coming from anywhere around you will be felt by you, no matter if you are knowledgeable of it or not. And so when you become aware of those things that you're feeling, then you can very much easier make it to where you can control those feelings and what you actually want to feel and think. Um, Step 4 is to become aware of other people's suffering. So, just what I was saying, like you understand that everybody is enduring suffering on this planet right now, unless they are liberated. And what I'm trying to do is help to liberate everybody, because I feel that I still very very rarely I will slip into the realm of suffering, and I notice it and then pull myself out immediately now, because I have become so aware of my emotions and thoughts and feelings that I can disidentify from the negative feelings that come and associate with suffering. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't experience sadness or happiness or joy or any of this other stuff. It just means that I don't identify with the suffering that could be uh, associated with that. So basically, I just throw away any of the bad, like, it's not even bad feelings, because I have like, negative feelings sometimes, but the thing is that like I don't identify with them, so they don't bother me. They just kind of like come in, and then I notice them, and then they go away. um, so, and then also anything that I say that I do for myself, take it as if I'm speaking, like as if you are talking to yourself. So like just take it as if it's me being you, telling these things to you, and then you can just take whatever you want and you can leave whatever you want. So like obviously like it comes like that, and you can literally believe or not believe anything that comes from your mind, right? So like do it for the same with the other people, and do it with the same amount of reverence as you would for yourself. So take as much consideration as you would for yourself for the things that I say. So step 5 is becoming compassionate for their suffering. So once you start to realize that everybody is suffering here, then you start to become compassionate and you want to help them instead of to make that suffering continue. So instead of getting upset or mad at somebody else for suffering, then try to offer them love and joy. And if they don't accept it or can't accept it, then move away from the situation instead of pushing yourself more and more and trying to force love onto somebody else, because that turns love into something else, and that's not a good thing to do. So step 6 is to understand that nothing that anyone else does has anything to do with your internal state. You govern your own feelings, and you can choose to identify with the thought patterns that you have or not to. So that's pretty self-explanatory, basically, that you govern your own internal condition, so you can choose how you want to react to anything. No matter if you feel that somebody has wronged you, you can choose to rise above that and to hold your state of internal peace and not to respond with anything other than love and compassion. Now, this is exceptionally difficult for a lot of people to do because they've never practiced it before, and they immediately respond when evoked. So, and I'm guilty of doing this too, and obviously, like, I notice when I do it now, but, like, for most of my life, I literally just thought it was normal. I didn't think into the reactions that I had because I felt justified for every single reaction that I have. Now I feel justified for nothing, and I literally look into every single thing that I do. And through that, I can actually relieve my own suffering by being compassionate for my own feelings and for other people's feelings. So, step 7 is to become aware of your own thought patterns. So, this is basically becoming aware of any thought patterns that are telling you that you are not good enough, or that you are not powerful, or that you don't have the means to the end, right? Uh, all of the means and all of the ends are all together already. So you already have all of the means to the ends, and you already have all of the ends to the means. You can literally visualize yourself into a new life. You can literally close your eyes, and through like 1 hour of visualization work a day, within 3 months you can change your entire life into something that you think is absolutely miraculous. People don't know this because they're taught that their imagination is something that's not real. Imagination is everything. Literally everything is made out of imagination. This whole world is God. This whole world is imagination. So therefore, using your imagination is connected to everything's imagination. Therefore, you can change your external reality using your own imagination. Um, that's just a little side tangent on visualization and how powerful that work is. So, step number 8. Start to develop a way to catch yourself in undesired thought patterns and find a mantra and affirmation to replace it with. Example: if you feel angry at a person because they wronged you in some kind of a way, what you do is recognize and feel that anger. Find out why and where that anger is inside of yourself. Forgive yourself for the anger you feel, and forgive the other for the misunderstanding of the Tao, which is the way or the life being. It's basically misunderstanding that everything is love. Um, Replace any of these angry thoughts with that you feel with like such as I need to get revenge for this or anything like that with an affirmation such as I forgive all who trespass against me, for I am the embodiment of unconditional love. All is good, all is right. Whatever happens to me, I can transmute into love. That is a very powerful affirmation to use in order to be able to start to transmute feelings into love. Step number 9, start to look for love in your everyday life. It comes from everywhere. Feel the gratitude of existence for others, and for of existence and for others. Remember that if there were no others, then you would not be able to exist. That's a huge thing. You really like once you start to become grateful for everything, and not and when I say others, this is also we are all interdependent of each other. Not only humans, but every living being on this earth. Therefore, we need to work together in order to be able to build this planet up. This earth is a living being. This earth is actually alive. This earth and everything on it is alive. Everything around is alive because it's all consciousness. Consciousness is alive in itself. It's aware. It's alive. It's aware. So everything in your external reality is aware. Therefore, you can communicate with it and gain wisdom from it as well. Everything is intelligent, and therefore, everything has wisdom that it can give to you. You can literally tap into the Akashic records or the infinite intelligence and everything because this information is ethereal and not internal. It doesn't come from your brain. It comes from the awareness source. It comes from the behind the self. Step number 10 is the last step. Practice mindfulness meditation. This practice can significantly increase your ability to shut out the external world and tune into what is real and good. This includes being aware. Okay, so try to mindfully walk or eat, or try just being mindful of your surroundings, and try just doing this for 5 minutes at a time. Just if you're going to be mindful of your surroundings, just open your eyes and look around and take in everything that you see. You don't have to label it, just look at it and see it there, and then like literally try to delete the labels from everything that you see and just look around and just try to be where you are. If you're going to be mindfully walking, be aware of your legs and your breath and how everything works together and every single step that you take. If you're going to mindfully eat, be aware of every single time that you chew and all of the feelings and the sensations that the food give you and all of the tastes and the flavors, and try to just really be with the act of eating the food. If you're going to um, it's literally anything, like just try to be mindful of everything that you're doing. Try to make your movements more smooth and slow down your whole outlook on everything. Like try not to get caught in this whole consumerism lifestyle where everything is just go 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 go, and if you're not doing something, then you feel bad. Like we're deleting that, and basically we're moving into a state of mindful awareness of the present moment, and a state of not feeling like we have to rush for anything. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to literally aimlessly walk, if we're going to be mindfully walking, right? So we're going nowhere, and we're just walking for the sake of walking, and just to experience the feeling of the body and the feeling of the air and the feeling of the everything. And so that's just like a little thing of mindfulnessly walking. But yeah, so these are just 10 steps on how to build mental fortitude. Um, the basics, the very basics. I can make this whole thing like a series of stuff, so I can keep posting up different ways that we can go about doing this mental fortitude thing. But basically, this is the whole gist of it: is to become confident and aware in your own self, and to start to tap into this infinite intelligence and this infinite energy that's all around you, and start to bring the information that you feel is right. You'll feel that it's right in your heart, and you'll know that, like, when you hear this information, it'll make you feel good, and start to move forward, move towards that feeling of goodness rather than the things that make you feel bad. Basically, become aware of any thought pattern that makes you not feel okay, and then transmute it into something that is loving. Um, yeah, so that's just the basics of how to build mental fortitude, and I hope to see you guys later. Thank you. And make sure you comment also. I'd love to hear your suggestions on different things that I should do.